And NDTV's Rahul Srivastav has spoken to the Telecom Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, who is detailing the Digital India plans. The Digi India government announcing a 25% incentive for electronic manufacturing, among other things.
At a glittering ceremony at the Indira Gandhi Stadium, the government unfolded its Digital India vision. The Prime Minister launching it is virtually made it a mission. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, the architect of the Digital India mission, is with us. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, yesterday when we were watching the function, we found that nearly 4.5 lakh crore committed in terms of investment over a period and 18 lakh jobs promised. That virtually means you have to, in the next 1 year at least, you will have to have something close to 1 lakh crore of investment and something close to 3.5 lakh jobs. Do you think this deadline is feasible, this timeline is feasible?
Surely we can make it work. Why can't? The private sector will put in their own effort. For instance, just to give you an instance of electronic manufacturing. After I became minister, I'm pushing it in a very big way. There were only 2 clusters before I came to power. Now there are 21 approved already, total. About 20,000 crore plus investment proposals have come. Rahul, just to tell you, we have got an incentive scheme of MSEPs. Namely, if you invest 100 rupees, we give 25.
You mean to say out of this 4.5 lakh crore which is being promised, something close to 25% will come from you?
No, not all. In the field of electronic manufacturing.
In the field of electronic manufacturing.
That we are pushing in a very big way, which will give a lot of employment also. But what is important is the government and the private sector have to work together in erecting their respective infrastructure. All of them have said, many have promised jobs also. But for me, a matter of satisfaction, Rahul, is this, that now actual investment is being promised publicly in the presence of the Prime Minister. Therefore, the process has started.
The private sector and the corporates have been very reluctant, have been slightly inertia-ridden in the last 1 year, despite a lot of schemes being announced. How do you hope that that inertia will not be seen in this sector also?
No, on the contrary, I would tell you, there have been no concrete proposals earlier. Maybe they were very keen to invest. But now, once the concrete proposal have started, and now they are seeing as to what is the potential of Digital India purely as a good market also, I'm sure a lot of investment is going to come.
You see, nearly 98 crore mobiles in operation in India. Only 30 crore people are actually accessing internet. Do you think this gap is actually the potential or the business potential of the market?
Any day. In a population of 1.25 billion plus people, we have nearly 980 million mobile phones, 975 million to be exact. And now don't forget, we add on an average 5 to 7 million mobiles every month. Therefore, and India is the biggest consumer of smartphones after USA. By reaching 30 crore internet, I am told by the internet service providers, we have surpassed USA. My aim is to make it 50 crore in the coming 2 years. Once all those policy enabling atmosphere is there, surely players are going to come. Because, Rahul, just to tell you how much e-commerce is doing well in India, do you know it? My postal department did a business of hardly 80 crore before he came to power. In the last 1 year, they have done a business of 500 crore, is scaling it up nearly 38%. And all in the rural areas, remember it, because of our vast reach. Therefore, India is becoming tech savvy. Indians are becoming tech savvy, and Digital India is going to ride on that.
There is a lot of welfare element to Digital India, e-bags, portals like e-hospitals and all, which will need that good services but cheaper services. How do you, in this competitive times, ensure that the private players who are jumping perhaps to promise you a lot of investment, how are they going to keep the costs low? Or they will have to, otherwise it may not succeed.
You have seen the mobile rates itself, one of the lowest in the country, the sheer size of Indian market. But on the IT people-friendly products, let me make mention of only one, this e-hospital product. People from Bihar, UP come for to get checked in AIMS. You have to come to Delhi to get registered. Now you will get registered by a click of a button. They will give you a date, the doctor, and you can come straight away there. This is how you are getting facilitated. E-Basta, e-scholarship, so many scholarship. At click of a button, all the scholarship portals are before you.
So, say in a state like Uttar Pradesh, for example, where the Chief Minister has gone ahead and distributed something close to 17 lakh laptops, There one can see that the hardware is available to access in a village, perhaps what you are promising in terms of internet. But in other states, where does the hardware come to access this great digital revolution?
As the Prime Minister says, he would like to see governance in the palm of every individual
How?
through mobile phone.
Through mobile phones. And
today-
how does he get the costs? How do, in a country where people are BPL below 30, nearly 30%, how does that revolution reach the hands?
You are very right. Therefore, there is a big case of a low-cost smartphone in India, and that is the area of electronic manufacturing.
Are you looking at a low cost? Is that what Ravi Shankar Prasad's big contribution to this country will be?
Surely, I'm in talk with them. We are trying to promote that. And what is important is, again, the bulk of market will dictate the business priorities. This is how I see it. Rahul, one thing more you need to understand, that people are already using it. And let me tell you on your channel, what is my idea of digital India? A barber, a carpenter, electrician, a mason, a puncharwala looking for his business opportunity through his smartphone. And people are doing it in Delhi in many places. We want to replicate it at the lower level.
Now, electronic manufacture is one of your, seems to be one of your ground rules, that if you have huge amount of imports happening, it may not, the cost may not go down, and also it may hurt Make in India. In terms of what the amount of electronic imports, are you looking at this perhaps is the method to reduce the imports?
Surely I need to tell Rahul that we consume and import electronic goods worth close to $100 billion every year. It will reach $400 billion by 2020. And the import bill will surpass the fuel bill. The idea is asking the big companies to come, make in India, for India, and also export outside. And this will be a win-win. My conservative estimate, people have said, if the electronic manufacturing cluster becomes success all over the country, we can give jobs close to 2 crore plus to Indian young people.
The optic fiber is a huge issue for you, very difficult to lay down because there are a lot of land issues involved in it. And land, you know, as your government knows, is not easy to acquire.
No, it doesn't need acquisition. Optical fiber was earlier National Optical Fiber, previous government, I must note that. But the implementation pace was absolutely unsatisfactory. They did 258 kilometers, we have done close to 45,000 kilometers in 1 year. Almost 300% scaled up. But certain structural flaws were found. The PM constituted a committee, high-powered committee, it gave a recommendation that the state government must come on board also to make it a SPV for joint implementation to obviate all the local issues. And I'm very happy to tell you, I reached out to all the chief minister because we in the government feel, as there are reports, a country more linked with optical fiber, the direct impact on the GDP. They have understood it, and now about 10 states have come on board.
What about the states which are saying no? Because they will find it difficult, they will seek money from you.
I have a different take on that. No, BSNL have been doing well, but state governments coming will lead to removal of a lot of uncertainties on the ground. If I can make a light reference to my own state, if Lalu Prasad come on Twitter late, okay, therefore those who oppose will also realize they are missing the bus.
So you mean to say that the politics might actually decide the economics?
No, I would not say that. The demand of the people for optical fiber and digital...
One important question is that what, with a large system like this that you are creating, a matrix, what about the regulations? The quality of services are poor even today. They are always demanding, the providers are demanding the prices should be hiked. And regulatory bodies even have been found wanting. We have seen over the last 10 years that regulatory bodies like even the TRAI was not only lax, but also at one time was siding on the wrong, with the people on the wrong side of the fence.
Well, I would put it generally, Rahul. Digital India becoming a success in the coming few years, the government will have to respond differently for the people's satisfaction. My department, DOT, the IT department, the TRI, and the private players. Because the scale of operation will become so huge that all of us need to revisit our strategies and also change.
Are you looking at a slightly more beefed up or more accountable TRAI also?
Well, TRAI has got a defined role. I can only tell you, if the need of Digital India implementation effectively needs certain reinforcement of their legal architecture, we are quite open to that.
One last question, that a lot of corporate houses yesterday we saw promised a lot. When is the first brick we are going to see the first brick being put? Otherwise, we have seen programs in which promises were made, but actually didn't take off on the ground. So are you looking at a timeline that, say, from 1 week from now, the first step will be visible?
No, surely, we will be in touch with them. They have also to establish their own credentials. They have already made a promise. But yes, implementation will be an issue. But what is a matter of assurance for me, Rahul, is India after 26th of May 2014 is a different country. We all work hard and will work hard to make it a success.
You will ensure that these people stick to the timelines?
Surely, why not? We'll be in touch with them. And they also owe something to the country or not. It is also a question of their own strategies, delivery mechanism to become successful for their own credibility. Therefore, we have to work together, and surely we will do that. But don't you see how BSNL has changed in 1 year? It is giving free roaming since 15th of June. It is going for big Wi-Fi. It has added 47 lakh new customers. Therefore, if a body like BSNL, and don't forget, Rahul, I would like India to know that BSNL was in a profit of 10,000 crore when Mr. Bajpayee government left office. When we came back, it was a loss of 8,000 crore. I'm trying my best to improve it.
Thank you very much, sir.